Hello, fellow Whovians. Sorry, my camera just decided to be stupid. Right as I was doing everything. But welcome to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Will you turn around, stupid camera? There we go. It's slowly moving. It's moving. I'll turn it back on. Yes, see, my camera decided to. There we go. Hi. I think it was automatically still set to follow me and track me, and I didn't want it to do that, but it did it anyway. So welcome. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday. And welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We are back, and we are live, and we're live on the Instagram, and we're live on the YouTubes and all the places. So thank you very much for joining us. We've got a great show today. Today, we are going to be kind of taking a brief look back. We've got 4 weeks until the new season of Doctor Who. 4 weeks. Now, we have 4 episodes from the 60th anniversary and Christmas. So, if you're one of those people that doesn't want to binge everything, you want that once a week kind of a feel, you've got 4 weeks to watch 4 episodes. So we're going to do a quick recap of those 4 episodes, as well as what we know about the next season, so that people who have not had a chance to see it have an idea of what they're getting into, where we were, where we are. And we've got a very special guest for that as well. But before we get to the special guest, let's bring up our fabulous team, starting with the amazing and wonderful creator of all of our wonderful graphics here, Mr. Kevo Risse. How you doing, Kevo?
Hello. Oh, I'm not supposed to look directly into this, right? I have to do this.
Right, there we go. There you go. There you go. Yeah,
okay.
That's much better.
That's much better. I cannot see through these. That's how good they are. Yeah.
Yes, that is, I think, the point. Could
yes,
be wrong.
I suppose so.
But looking at me is that bright, I know.
It is. It really is. Looking at all of us, we're all here to brighten your day and be the true celestial event this week. And super stoked to talk about the specials. I rewatched them all like in a row, like sat in one sitting to prepare for this. So I have a lot of thoughts. I'm super stoked.
I tried to. I had a few issues, not the least of which is I no longer have Disney Plus for a few months. But oops. And I thought I had them somewhere else, and I didn't. How about you, Tom? How are you feeling? You've also got the glasses.
He's also ready.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the eclipse. Did I miss it?
You did.
Oh, crap.
I just for the record, y'all are very lucky because you're out east where you got, more or less 100% of the eclipse. We got like less than 25% where I am because
I didn't bother.
Yeah, I didn't bother either for exactly that reason.
I took a shower during the eclipse. I did find my sword, which I got from Cinderella's castle. Sorry, Kevo. I did my cleaning yesterday. I found it's all nice and perfect. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yeah. Anyway,
wait, are you excited to talk about these specials?
Yeah, I didn't know we had to watch them again.
Wait, don't. I mean,
there we are then.
You can do whatever. That's okay.
That's okay.
Okay then. How about Nick? Nick, did you rewatch them for this?
Oh gosh, no. Why would I rewatch them? Come on.
Of course, Nick is now spinning. Is Nick spinning for everybody else, or is it just me?
No,
I watched the trailer.
Oh well, I'm just gonna shut up because I'm getting nothing from Nick.
Can you hear me now?
Good.
Oh, good. Tom's nodding. Oh, good. I watched the trailer.
Are gonna take over. Yeah, go. So you're
Season
saying you watched
1
the trailer?
Trailer. Yes.
I got another
prediction. And that was all my homework. That's all I did. But I've been mulling over these specials since they came out. I've been mulling for months and trying to figure out how I feel about them. So this has really forced me to sit down and decide that I like them. And I'm excited to share my thoughts and hear yours and revisit them. The one that I would watch over again is the Christmas special because there was actually a lot going on in there for us to unpack.
I agree. Absolutely. Dave, is he up for you yet?
Nope.
Oh, no.
You're in different dimensions. This is wild.
Yeah, must be all that lunar activity.
It's the eclipse. It's the earthquake that we had over on the eastern side of the United States. It's so many things are causing this problem.
Yeah, she made the earthquake happen.
I'm just going to put my phone in the feed now because why not? Hi, everyone. I'm here too.
Ironically, I can see you're fine, but not him. And you probably, and I'm getting at it. I'm getting terrible, I'm sure.
No, and that's the funny thing is you're like frozen on my screen. So I think this is really just a StreamYard interface because I'm kind of watching live and everything's fine. So
delightful.
If we can, just, spearhead, our way through this, we should be fine. I mean, so far it does look like we're all here and everyone's commenting and all that fun stuff.
We are so here.
We're so here.
You look like you're the Doctor right now.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's all right.
Are you excited, Melanie?
For what?
Today's episode. For us. For this.
For us. For
me
everything.
to restart my computer and hopefully be able to do something.
For the thing.
Bingo. No, I'm good to recap everything that we watched. Everything I liked was if you want to go back, I pretty much highly rated everything. I enjoyed this very much. I unfortunately did not get a chance to rewatch it right before airing this, but I have rewatched all the episodes, and typically in my normal fashion, everything gets even better in my second viewings. So yeah, I'm ready to kind of let's play catch up. But this is definitely a spoilery kind of thing. But if you're somebody who wants to watch, you missed out for the last episodes, just time, life, all that kind of fun stuff got in the way, and you don't mind some spoilers and want to see what you missed, this is going to be the episode for you. We'll give you that quick recap that you need.
We should do that.
Oh, not yet. Spoilers.
Important.
Yep. And so that actually is the spoilers because it comes from one of the episodes we're going to be kind of recapping.
Exactly. So I've got a little bit of an intro video here for our special guest.
Ooh.
And once I've got my special guest in, I'm going to go away for a few minutes and see if I can make my thing work better. Because I still can't see Nick or Squat. So I'm going to drop out and drop back in. But a brief introduction.
During all the years I've been taking care of you, you in return have been taking care of me. I want you to belong somewhere, to have roots of your own. With David, you'll be able to find those roots. Believe me, my dear, your future lies with David, and not with a silly old buffer like me.
Woo! That's right. Our special guest is. I didn't do that right. There we go. I had it all planned out and failed miserably.
All that. Wait, no, put that picture up. I put that picture back up for just. What the hell is going on with my eyes? My goodness.
You sent the picture.
Yes, I know it's twitchy. Whatever.
I think you're judging us.
Welcome back, Mr. Special Guest.
To the same old place you laughed about.
Christian Basel, the amazing one, the founder. I've still got nothing from Nick here, so I'm going to restart. I'm going to do this because this is where you belong, and I'm out of here for a few minutes.
Okay.
You are for the next 2 minutes at least.
Wow. Hi, everybody.
Well, hi.
Hi, everybody.
It's
hey,
been
boss.
a while, hasn't it?
Right.
Took some time off out there. So, well, thank you, folks, for welcoming me. First of all, I want to give a big thank you to the members of the team out here who did a marathon run while I was out, taking care of business, doing the reviews for the 60th. Get my head out of there. Doing the reviews for the 60th, for the Christmas specials, for doing the Master Run. What was it? March Madness Masters or Master Madness? I couldn't even get it.
March of the Master.
March of the Master Madness.
We have amazing graphics even from that. So how dare you?
Rude. Kevin was looking like he's already got something to smack him with. He's got a
I know, right?
big stick.
No, this was for the drum roll. I'm
Thank you.
Don't put that bad juju on my drum.
Like he's got a sword or something.
Are those 5Bs? What are the size of that stick? Sorry. Nope, not a drum.
Okay.
What?
No, they're from Rock Band. So.
They're from Rock Band, never mind. They're probably a 5B. 5A. They get the bigger the number, the skinnier they get. Anyway. Hi,
Okay.
I was the drummer.
Dave, you want to host this one because I'll do the.
Yeah, I'll
producing.
I'll go back over here to the hosting side.
Where
You
I
could,
can cause
and I will
questions.
not touch
Better.
a single producer thing.
Dave,
Put him
do
on
you
the cool
see everybody
side.
this time?
I currently can see everyone. Nick, could you say something?
Cool guy.
I can say something. Can you hear me now? What?
I
Thanks,
can in
Mark.
fact hear you.
Fridays.
Yay!
Yes. I'm a real boy.
I had a
Christian
plan.
broke the curse.
I had a plan for Christian, a video for Christian for the wrestling fans in the group. I was gonna put him to Eric Bischoff's music.
What?
Oh,
The I'm back.
Why? No.
Because it was hilarious, but this was so much better.
You can do
And-
Eminem. He's back again.
I could do that too. There's so many options, and we might have a whole week
It's
of
monetized for that crap.
making fun of Christian coming back. But I had to I had to leave that extra long little bit of that first Doctor clip just because it says that it belongs with David now. The future is David. The future is me.
Oh.
I did love how that worked out. That was very dumb and funny.
Yeah.
now it makes sense. Oh my god.
I cannot.
The future.
Welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
With
I
a
am your
big old
host.
beard.
Look
That
who's
beard
back.
gets bigger every time I see it.
I shaved it down. It's not nearly as big as it was when I was called
Hey, Edward.
J.R.R. Martin's stunt double. Thank you for that. I think it was Tom that called me that, if I remember right. You that called me that? Who
No.
called me that? Somebody called me that on the show.
I wish I did. That's funny.
It really was. And then I went, oh, damn. I have
Well,
let this
since
kind of get
Kevo
over.
brought his drumsticks, can I do a little bit of a show and tell? Just a wee bit?
Yes.
Of course.
Of course.
All right.
We love Sean.
I have a drum and stick too. And this one is weird. I just want to show you. I finally found a very non-expensive working 9th Doctor Sonic. And I think I know what this is because one, it's
11.
supposed to have the button that works in the back. Well, I meant the version of this because this one
Version
has a
one.
button in the back, but it doesn't work.
Mm.
And this one is so touch sensitive. I mean, will go off for any reason if I just put on the side here or the front. It's just really touch sensitive. But
Yeah,
this is what I'm
versions.
happy about. It's now working.
Yay.
So I have a working
Yay.
Sonic to take to places. But
Right.
I just picked it up for the first time. It was like, I was just like, okay, stop it. Oh, I already broke it. There we go. So that's one. And while I was away, Chrissy, I don't know if I ever showed this. Chrissy did this for me. And I think we should start doing merchandising again. But here you go. This is the Traveling TARDIS pillow. That
Holy
she
crap.
made.
I need one.
It's really cool.
We should sell these. But here's
Yeah.
the coolest thing I've got so far from Chrissy when I recovered. I don't know if you can see that well. I thought, hey, Roger. But
Roger.
yeah.
Beautiful.
But that is that's what I've gotten a little bit for the show and tell. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for sticking around and watching these fabulous people talk about Doctor Who, one of the greatest sci-fi shows out there. And we got a huge audience out there too, like 4,500 YouTube subscribers, 73,000 Facebook. God, where do people come from? Epic
Right.
pillow, epic t-shirt. Yep. Thank you, sir. So appreciate it. And I appreciate what you guys done while I was away. So thanks for keeping the lights on. Thanks for keeping the shows going. Thanks for just being awesome all around.
You're welcome, Christian, because we love you.
Okay.
Yes.
We do.
Now I'll
Yep.
go back. Bye-bye. See ya.
You're good.
I'll go away.
Hey, play with us.
Kick back on my
I'm
throne.
You can run
I'm
with
giving it
us.
to Dave for just a moment. He can have the throne. I'm actually doing production, so I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So
Which is good. So, Christian,
yes, sir.
one of the reasons we're doing this is you have not had a chance to watch these yet. With all of your other things you had to deal with.
Yep.
You have not had a chance to even look at these.
And I still haven't watched it.
That's
Poor
fine.
bad
That's
movie
part of
and
what we
me.
wanted to do this for, so we can catch you up.
Okay.
And,
I'm good
and
with that.
those in our audience.
And we've
that
got
need
kind of
little-
I don't think we're ready to announce our extra bonus thing that we're going to be hopefully doing with you, Christian. Are we established enough with the review, the new thing? No, not quite yet. we've got plans
Just
for
spoil
Christian's
me. I'm
thoughts.
fine.
Okay.
I know what goes on. I just
Did
haven't
anybody
seen it.
else get lost on what Dave was trying to say?
Yes.
Always.
As usual, yes.
Actually, I think I
Huh?
know what he said.
Yeah, Christian, we were going to do something special with all of your reviews on
The new system, the new review system.
the new reviews.
Oh.
So you-
I will announce it in
I'm
good time.
Yes. Okay. So
Mystery.
we have
I will announce
something
it.
special coming up, folks.
I'm slow.
You get paid?
You're right, Mark. We are family.
We are family.
I know somebody was. Good God.
Oh boy.
Quit your day job. There you go. Thank you, 60 and beyond. Yep, I'm back.
Yes.
See how long I stick around for this one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mass dumped a bunch of graphics in here from Kevo. Thank you again, Kevo. Looking at some of what we did with the fabulous new Doctor Who, that is the 60th anniversary. You'll find out soon, Andrew. You'll find out soon. Of course, for those who are really not caught up, at the end of the Jodie Whittaker era, we got a new Doctor. That new Doctor was the 10th Doctor, but it's not the 10th Doctor. It's the 14th Doctor. It's the 14th Doctor who looks like the 10th Doctor, who is still David Tennant, looking like David Tennant. And David Tennant doesn't look like he's aged at all, except when you put them next to each other. So.
And he sounds like Scrooge McDuck.
That's
Right?
weird.
That's the best part.
I love that.
Yeah.
And the droid on Ahsoka.
Yes.
Yes.
Yang.
Yang.
Also returning, of course,
somewhere.
Donna Noble.
Thanks, Robert.
So this was a challenging thing for them because here we go. Here's the side by side.
I love
So
what
on
they
one
did there.
hand, David Tennant doesn't look like he's aged at all. On the other hand, David Tennant looks like a totally different human being compared to what he used to look like. It's very interesting to
They've
put 'em
both
side by
just
side.
aged beautifully.
It's that it's hard
Exactly.
to believe they're as old as they are in the first one. They look like 25
Yes.
in comparison to what they are now. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Mm-hmm.
What was that joke? They bathe in the blood of politicians or something like that.
Oh,
No, I think Kevo, you have an excellent point. It's that they've aged. It's not that they've aged like crazily for their age. No, they look beautiful for their age now. But oh my lord, when you look back, they do look very, very young.
they really do.
Can I brag for a second? That TARDIS door one, I had to make that.
What?
There was no clear production shot of both of them in focus. It was either the 10th Doctor or it was Donna. And I got really annoyed, and so I made this because I was like,
That's really
Love it.
cool. Amazing.
why would you not? Yeah.
You are kind of amazing. Sorry, we are, and Christian is kind of doing the producing thing in the background as well. But I've been bringing up the pictures, so we're just kind of jumping between. So if things seem a little bit off, that's kind of why. But with our Doctor and our Donna, we got 3 episodes.
Unicorn blood.
Unicorn
No.
blood, exactly.
Mm.
The Star Beast, Wild Blue Yonder, and the Giggle. The appropriate place to start, I think, in all of this conversation would be at the beginning with the Star Beast. Dum dum dum. Now, the Star Beast is not particularly new, which is why all of the internet hubbub of "Oh my God, they were ripping off Phineas and Ferb" was absolutely ridiculous and hilarious at the same time.
Didn't even hear that.
Nick-
That's so funny.
Nick and Tom, you two both have read the original. Have you, Kevo? I can't remember the comic. No, but
Yeah,
you.
by now.
So, Nick, tell us the original Star Beast. Give us the.
It's close to what we saw on the show. So a cuddly creature crash lands on Earth. And some kids find him and help him, and he's all meek. But it turns out that he's not so meek after all, that he has another side to him that he's been hiding. The Doctor comes and helps the kids save the day. It's a great comic strip, but a few things had to be added to really beef up the story to a whole episode.
Exactly. Tom, can you give us a couple of those additions? Do you know them off the top of your head?
I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. More or less what
You're right.
I
Okay.
had
No,
for
Nick.
10 years ago.
Never mind that. Nick.
I'm just getting over this damn virus that I.
Yes.
Well,
I don't know.
I have
I'm glad the
I have a
problems here haven't
question then.
changed.
So, in comparison to other stories they've done this with, like one that always stands out for me is Family of Blood. I know was essentially adapted from a book that already existed. How does this Star Beast adaptation compare to that or other previous adaptations? Is the first thing I'm curious about, because I don't necessarily read everything, so I don't know how they all translate one to one.
I think it's a question of style, because the Family of Blood sticks closely to the book, in the manner of style, the way it wraps up the book. It shows the Doctor being so ruthless at the end. But with Star Beast, they had to kind of change from Doctor Who weekly 70s style to, modern Doctor Who TV style. So more drama, more emotional depth, a little less goofiness, because, you got the Tom Baker Doctor being goofy in the comic strip, but also using all the really cool elements, the surprise twists from the original story and making them work for a modern audience.
Nice.
I liked it.
I think most of the general consensus was that it was really well done. At least for those who knew what they were looking at. Most of the criticism I saw came down to things like, oh, look, they're ripping off Phineas and Ferb, when the Phineas and Ferb thing was an homage to Star Beast 20 years later. Or whatever amount it was. I don't remember how long exactly it was.
A wee while ago.
People say rip off all the time, but these things are also just homages or honoring. We're watching a lot of old TV randomly right now. So we're watching Star Trek TOS, and we're also watching the 1990s sitcom Miamiverse, so Golden Palace, Golden Girls, Empty Nest. And you catch on old TV shows, somebody dated a man named Bucky Barnes. In 1992, no one had no idea what that reference was. Right. They weren't ripping it off. They were just, honoring it. The Meep on Phineas and Ferb looks nothing like Beep the Meep from Doctor Who. The story is not similar. People just like to be annoying.
I mean, that's also true.
And adding to what Kevo said, just if you look at other stuff, one of the sites we have out there is called The Search for Doctor Who. And it was a site to see where influences of Doctor Who went in other shows, like Supernatural. They used Amy Pond as a disguise. God, I can't. Gosh, what was that one show? But there was a show. It was like a spy show or something like that. I'm trying to remember, but the names of the spies were Sylvester McCoy, Peter Davison, and I mean, just you could tell, somebody is
Leverage. They did it in Leverage.
Yeah.
Leverage, thank you. Yes, Leverage was the series.
I remember that now, yeah.
You see the influence going into other shows, and you can see the geekdom come out of whatever. And I think that's just cool, because if you're a geek of one thing, it does sometimes bleed into something else. I think Sonic Screwdriver's mentioned in Star Trek somewhere. So. I mean, to see that, then it's oh, well, yeah. Hey, Dan, oh my goodness. Type 40, check him out. Dan Hadley and his team over at Type 40 there. Thank you so much. Sounding good? I don't know. Looking good? Story.
One of the things that I just discovered today, there's a line in there, because there was a lot of people who were not happy with how progressive the episode was. One of the things was talking about pronouns, and the Meep brings up their pronoun is always the definitive article, the Meep, which is almost exactly what Tom Baker tells somebody about himself. There's a Fourth Doctor bit where he comes in and goes, I am the Doctor, the definitive article.
The genuine article. He's just regenerated. And he's talking to Harry Sullivan, and that's when they start skipping rope and something like that.
Yeah.
I'm the Doctor, the genuine article.
Yeah, so it was specifically the definitive article. It was almost the exact same line. Because I just happened to come across it today as I was looking for something else.
Yeah, he uses it also as the curator when he says the curator. At one point when he's talking to Nicola Bryant in one of the stranded
Right.
Audiobooks. He says
Yeah.
the same. He uses the same
That's
line
where it's
again,
going.
except as the curator, because it's during the I didn't catch your name, and he just goes, I didn't throw it. I'm like, oh, I love that. I'm gonna take that and keep it.
So good.
But we are going to take a quick commercial break today. Mostly so Christian can get his producer wings back under him and just say hi to some of our friends that we have not been doing commercials on. So, and when we come back, we will talk about the next of the specials, Wild Blue Yonder. After these messages, we'll be right back. Christian wasn't ready, so I'm just going to sit here with finger guns.
Don't do
We'll do it.
fingers.
There are so many pictures back here now. I have to get through them.
This is my new favorite.
Not fair.
I keep doing.
Everyone do finger guns. So Tom can,
Oh, fine. I'll do finger
not you.
No. Still doing it.
Yep. We're almost there.
Shush.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. The official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Flaw, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
Appreciate what's going on back here. What happened is Kevo was very kind enough to bring in some pictures for Dave to do some presentations, and now it's like going off the screen because it wasn't just 1, 2. There's like 50 of them, and it's just like gorgeous. It's like I'm thankful that Kevo did this. But the thing is, it's like somebody took your house and added 5 more rooms, and like where is everything? I knew
it's all my fault because I didn't get to it fast enough. I spent too much time editing this video of Christian.
Well, no, it's just like everybody, you have the roommate who comes into the room and just starts moving things around. Just like, okay, should have done that a little bit earlier, but I thought I had everything, and everything started to move again. I'm like, ah. So getting used to it. So welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, folks, with our special host, Dave Chapman from TheRatHole.ca, the lovely Melanie Dean, the lovely Kevo Risse, the lovely Reba Namagan, and the lovely Nick Smith, all the way down.
And
I really wanted to I wanted that pause. I wanted to put that pause just to see what you would react.
The fairest of all.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. So I've deleted some of these overlays as well as we go because I'm gonna see if I can get the title cards that were released in here in a second as well. But so one of the interesting things about these 60th anniversary specials is they set up something. We don't really know what. We have ideas of what, but there's definitely more that's coming. At the end, the Beep the Meep says, you're gonna hear from the big boss, from the boss or whatever the line is, and then disappears, and we don't know what the heck's going on. And that just kind of gets left hanging. And then we get ourselves to Wild Blue Yonder, which is a great timing for Roger's comment. A really interesting and unique, exactly, a bizarre episode on a huge spaceship, a robot, and a stretchy version of 14th and Donna.
Yes.
That's a pretty good explanation
Accurate.
of it. Mm-hmm. What did you think of it there, Melanie? What did you think of Wild Blue Yonder?
I'm kidding. I loved that one. I thought it was a great blend of comedy at first, but just such a to me it's like see, I'm doing it already. It's like a creepy kind of horror where the Doctor and Donna are wearing are facing monsters that are wearing their faces, they're wearing their bodies, and they're slowly remembering their minds. And they have to also figure out, why are they in the ship? Why are they in this? Why is that big robot thing that reminds me eerily of the one from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Thank you. So it's like, why is he there? Is this the same thing? But I don't know. But no, I thought it was brilliantly done. I thought the effects were fantastic in some of the bodies either elongated or stretched and stuff like that. And I feel that they used prosthetics and blending prosthetics and CG wonderfully, because when you do that, your whatever you commit to, I guess you can call it film, celluloid, digital, whatever, is gonna last a lot longer. And I think that's why little tangent, why Jurassic Park still looks amazing. And I think that's gonna I think that this episode of Doctor Who's gonna do well too. I think that this episode of Doctor Who's going to do well as
Blue Reverend.
No, Dave, it's following you.
It's following you, Dave.
The show will not let me go away. I also thought I turned that off.
But no, that's so. I highly recommend it. Know that you're kind of going if you're the type of person who gets creeped out or secondhand embarrassment-y kind of stuff. Just have that pillow or that throw for you to kind of grab onto. But it's a really good episode. I loved it.
A lot of comparisons to Midnight for a lot of people. In tone.
I can see that.
Smaller cast.
He says gave it Event Horizon without the gore, so pretty much you don't have a movie.
Yeah,
unless you just have Sam Neill screaming at his wife or something like that.
Well, in this case, it's more Donna screaming at the Doctor, but that's nothing new there.
When's she not screaming at him?
And the ending is a really good little twisty, turny kind of thing, because you're not sure if he chose poorly.
Yes. And that kind of leads into it's setting something up and we still aren't sure what.
Mm-hmm.
But he said he invoked a superstition at the end of the universe. And that's generally bad.
Very bad.
That's the place that is the place where the veil between reality and superstition is weakest. And what did he bring into this? What did he let into this universe by doing that?
Mm-hmm. And you will find out in only a couple episodes.
Exactly, maybe, or in part. Which then, of course, brings us to the giggle. With the one and only and absolutely amazing Neil Patrick Harris, with a very creepy grin in that particular picture.
So many teeth.
He's had work done.
Look at all the teeth.
Yes.
Look at all of the teeth.
Oh my
That's
God.
too perfect. That's too perfect. I'm sorry.
That's too many.
There's too many.
There's too many in the too perfect.
40 teeth.
Holy crap.
And for those of you who have been watching all of our Master stuff, of course, that gold tooth apparently contains the Master.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. But we never really find out, one, who this hand is,
Oh, wait,
or
back to
two,
the photo again.
how the Master really got there. Like, there's a lot of stuff that was left in there.
I need to
When
know.
I
Go back
saw
to that
that-
photo.
That brought back.
No,
that brought back
him pointing at the
the
tooth. He's not pointing at a molar.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, of course not.
That's an incisor.
They're all molars.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I have nothing.
It's
They
just,
don't
that's just, like, that's just a lot of teeth that are not supposed to be there.
Yeah, except it's like they're all incisors.
That's
Wait a
just
minute.
That needs
Okay,
to
love
be
it
on a
anyway.
poster somewhere
fangs.
for whatever reason.
I love it. It's okay.
Notice.
We're good.
Yeah, it's a very different tooth. I did not notice all of the teeth in
No.
previous. Like I noticed there was. I
didn't
just
either.
noticed the ding. So thank you, Kevo. You've now
Oh,
creeped us
yeah.
out, but also this is interesting
You are
Yeah.
welcome. That is my goal.
because
Can
we
you go
now
back to
have these shape-shifting monsters that were in Wild Blue Yonder that were not quite right. And now I'm seeing this whole toy maker thing, the Celestial Toy Maker, for spoiler, coming back with all of these not quite rightness.
Can I just want to bring up this one because this is reminiscent of the end of time or not the end of time.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
where the ring fell off
Mhm.
while the master's being burnt to a crisp like Darth Vader, and they're just like, then the ring drops off. Now we got a tooth, and it's just like,
And I think that's all it is.
I'll just call him Goldfinger.
He never meant to follow up on the ring, and it just sort of happened that it worked out that he needed something and decided to bring the master back at that point. And I think this is just meant to be that. It's just he likes to play with these things. It might come back up. The master might come back a different way. He just likes to put these little things in there. Will he pull from it someday? Who knows?
He's
I don't think it's going to be for a while. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm
Okay. This is a really cool episode. My main problem was for newbies. What the heck? In a way, it's good because they're giving us the puppet show, but they didn't stop the 5 doctors right in the middle, and the bad guy says, "You remember all those times where you went back and brought a Concorde back to Earth and did all these things with your companions, and bad things happened to Adric?" That would have totally stopped the show. So whether it was a good idea to tell the newbies what had happened before or not for dramatic purposes is not for me to know. What do you guys think?
I liked it.
I liked it. I liked the puppet show, and I really did. I did enjoy them going, you know what? This is gonna be a new foray and probably bringing in a lot new audience. So we're gonna have to teach them a little bit, but let's do it in a way where it's not talking down to an audience, but it's kind of just talking, doing a little bit of exposition to everybody. And I thought it was great as a puppet show, and having Donna there, because Donna's not going to know any of these people either. So it's a little bit of, here, I'm just going to keep throwing this in the doctor's face in front of a friend that doesn't know what's going on and painting him in a bad picture. Meanwhile, the rest of the audience can go, oh my goodness. And get the people who know the characters like myself was like, it's Clara. It's Amy. It's the. I'm excited. And other people kind of going, oh, okay.
I'm not sure it was all good for brand new fans, but I think in terms of reaching out to Whovians old and new, if you're familiar with the premise, if you're familiar with the concepts, because I think a lot of people who aren't familiar with the last few years of Doctor Who might have felt the same way about the puppet show that I felt about Melanie's appearance. I don't know the character, but the Doctor is excited. They're talking about adventures. I understand that there is a history there. And I think it's probably a similar thing to that.
It's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I almost fell out of my chair reading Kevo's
I'm
message.
sorry, 60. That was a good line. He's got more teeth than a Florida alligator. I wouldn't
But
know.
to
I
Kevo's
haven't jumped
point,
in.
I really did like having, as much as I wasn't really, knowing Mel, and then more so in Big Finish, but having her, I really love the fact that Shooty's doctor looked at her and said, how do I look? And that for her being a companion from way back when, understanding everything, it's like, you're still gorgeous, that kind of thing. I thought it was great that he looked at her for that.
Yeah. And it's neat that they brought Melanie back, and I love that they brought her back specifically because she is one of the least well-served companions of the classic era.
Yeah.
She got, what did she get to do? She got to scream a bunch.
Yeah, and she was a computer programmer in the 70s.
Yeah, and never touched a computer.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She didn't get an introduction.
Smart.
Yeah, she's smart.
She's a smart cookie. And what did she do? Screamed her head off.
Yep.
Screamed bloody murder.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, she had a Scream Queen scream and puffed sleeves that would make Anne's gables green. And if you get that reference, good on you.
Yeah, I get the reference.
Good.
I get the
If
reference.
you don't,
I
sorry.
wanted to get the reference.
I'm
Look, Man of Green Gables.
Roger says by generation towards the end of the episode. Nick, what the heck? I'm like, specifically for you, Nick.
Nick, what the heck?
What
the heck, Nick?
About the bi-generation is the idea that the other Doctors can grow older in one version of reality. So it explains why we see these Doctors played by older actors, and also they can have more adventures. Yay!
Which is extra good because, of course, they had the Tales from the TARDIS, the 6 episodes or whatever, where they brought back old Doctors, old companions, and aired a condensed version of some of their great stories. Of do I like the edits? Maybe, maybe not. But specifically, they Sylvester McCoy mentions, in some realities, I regenerated, in this I didn't. So
it's almost as if RTD knew what he was doing and planned everything. And
That's weird.
What?
Not always, bro, but it still comes out great.
Exactly. And then from there, at the end of all of this, we got all of this amazing action and a great musical number because of course you do, because it's Neil Patrick Harris. Why would you not? You get all of these throwbacks, all of this moving forward, moving backwards, and of course the introduction to the new Doctor.
All on Stark Tower.
Exactly. All in Stark Tower. Exactly. The new new unit headquarters. It is very different. They're moving on up in the world. That's for sure.
To the east side.
Yep. I was just gonna let someone else pick that one up. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. But after we get that, we one of the things he ends up at the end is, things have gone awry. You're gonna get legions of weirdness, basically.
Whoa.
More promises of something not going right. And I'm gonna back up just a little bit to the very beginning, and I'll bring it up because we have the 2-second clip of the 2-minute bit. Where if I'm smart enough, there we go.
Oh, not yet. Spoilers.
So that tree is the tree that Sir Isaac Newton was theoretically sitting under when he got hit in the head with the apple. Tall tale that was not actually a thing that actually is substantiated of actually happening. But there was a big giant kerfuffle over the actor they chose for Isaac Newton, being of Indian descent. And also at the very end of that, what was that word he used? Mavity.
No.
The thing is,
I'm driven nuts by that word.
Mavity.
Just never saw. I was just watching all my Whovian friends using that word over and over again. I'm like, what?
Now you know where it came from.
The clip. Yeah, I saw the clip, and I'm like, oh.
But here's the thing. One, Isaac Newton also did not coin that phrase, just as another problematic thing in that scene, if we're going to talk about problems with that scene, and not being historically accurate. But they kept that joke going, which is interesting. If it was a one-off gag, which is what it really felt like. It felt like we're just throwing this gag in here.
Mm-hmm.
But they kept using Mavity. It kept popping up.
Mm-hmm.
Including in the Christmas episode with Shooty. So it's not even just, we're just going to keep this joke running for David and Catherine. It's going to be, this is a thing now. So something has changed.
Do you think it's seeding?
I think it is 100% seeding. I don't think it was unintentional. There was, does the race of an actor matter? No. However, do I think he was stupid enough to not know that there was going to be uproar about this and all sorts of attention drawn to it? RTD likes to troll people. So I'm sure he knew that bleep storm was going to happen. But now because we're a few episodes later where they've continued to use it, there's definitely something else there. And one of the actresses in that a little bit earlier in that scene pops up again later as well in the Christmas episode. Similarly, in a a one-line sort of thing. So again, is something else happening from
Maybe
this?
an alt universe, mayhaps.
Maybe, or just like I said, a change. There's all sorts of these. Who knows?
The idea that our universe isn't that stable to begin with, I think, as well. One of the things that watching a lot of this old stuff and watching original TOS, like I said, something that's really hitting me in all of this is, we really need to keep evolving our idea of what these things are. Something I think about a lot is from series 3 in 2007, when there's that speech about the Doctor, and he's ancient and forever. He was 900 years old at that time. Our ideas of what these things are and what's weird in sci-fi and the boundaries of the universe and the way we can tell these stories have changed so much, literally even just the last 20 years. And I think we are in many ways still thinking in old mindsets of, canon. And I think Russell T Davies himself is being like, it's art. I don't really care as much about canon. I'm not trying to tear anything down or knock anything down that anyone loves, but it's also allowed to be free, especially when it's about a time traveling alien who does things that mess up the flow of time. So I think you're completely right that I think we are perhaps entering an era of, maybe sometime Isaac Newton will be played by a white guy. Maybe it'll be someone weird. I don't think it'll ever get too out of control, but I think the idea is, everything is sort of flux.
Definitely, a character can step on a butterfly in the time of dinosaurs and make.
We will come back to that.
Mm-hmm.
But because, of course, as we said, we bigenerate and we get shooty. And we've already kind of moved into talking about the Christmas episode with him, and they've continued to use the Mavity thing. And there's, of course, a new companion in Ruby Sunday who's very mysterious, and we don't really know what she is. What is she up to? Where is she coming from? But the two of them together is fabulous.
A lot of fun, yeah.
We'll come back to that. Where's the there? There's the two of them. So we've got the two of them here, and they play off each other so well. And
they both have a wonderful and I don't want to say chemistry. I want to use effervescence because they're both bubbly and they're both there's a lot of great high energy about them both. So yes, there is that chemistry, so to speak, of the two people working together. I hate saying the word chemistry only because sometimes when you say that, it automatically means a romance kind of thing.
Yeah,
and that's absolutely not what I'm alluding to, or I don't think they're alluding to either. But they've just got such a great energy that they bounce off each other that I really enjoy watching them together.
Agreed.
And I think the other nice thing with the two of them, I mean, and we are only getting, we've already established that we're only getting, no, that's not the picture I thought it was. We're only getting one in a few episodes worth of her. We already know that she's only going to be around for a little bit. I think the rumor is about 2 to 3 episodes in the next season before her story arc comes to a close. And they are giving her a full story arc. Which is
like what they did with Rose and Martha and
Clara, and then Clara came back.
Yeah.
And they ruined it all.
But he was cycling through companions, which is good. Everyone gets a turn in, in the TARDIS, and everyone gets to have that way. That for me, the show remains that fresh perspective of somebody seeing everything that's amazing and seeing, that I'm traveling through time.
And with this episode, we've got. So Ruby was born on Christmas. She's a foundling. Her foster mother actually adopts her, which she's never done to any of the other foster children, including Lulabelle, the new baby that shows up at Christmas, who then gets kidnapped by goblins.
Goblins.
This is one of the things that they talked about, kind of leading into this. To the season or into the special, saying they're going to maybe lean a little bit more into the fantasy side of things, not just the hard sci-fi, and that's pushing the level of that term, I think, quite heavily. So we've got goblins in a flying ship with a definite homage to Labyrinth. We've got a great song that I happen to love, but some people absolutely hate.
I just don't like the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lyrics.
The music is fire. but like the lyrics, I don't know who wrote them. I hope it's from an actual like goblin poem or something. I'm just gonna pretend it is until I'm told otherwise. Don't tell me otherwise.
I'll take that. I'll accept this
I'm
canon.
with you on that. I'll follow you on that one.
Especially if you're bringing in a young Disney Plus audience to this, you're just like, well, David Bowie was a Goblin King, and there was a fine line to where he was, and the music that he drew. You know, you remind me of the Babe.
There's a standard,
there was a standard. I was like,
and this Goblin King is nowhere near David Bowie.
The orchestration was like really amazing for Murray Gold. It was way better than I was expecting. My nemesis, he did a great job. It was really the words. I almost grating at times. I again refuse to learn them either.
That's fair. We also get introduced to the new sonic screwdriver, giving the subtle segue to bring these up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's that? What's that,
Fan
Christian?
on.
I'm going to program.
Yeah, that's not
program shooties.
That would be Christian's fan controller that he found for his ceiling fan, and it's like, well, this kind of looks familiar.
All I'm saying is, I turned around. I've never even paid attention to it much. I was like,
it's toyetic. It's a toyetic shape.
There we go.
What? Somebody
Where's the toy of this? Are they making us wait until Christmas?
Yes.
That's insane. That's insane. Okay.
Especially they didn't have enough Sonics for 14.
Yeah, I don't know if they've been doing that for. Hold on, I'm going on the comment. If they
unless you want to go to Amazon and pay astronomical prices, or get the knockoff. I'm just like saying, or you can find.
I mean, we might get it before that. I mean, I can see why they might hold off on that until May, when we get a proper shooty season. Maybe it changes again. Fine. Who knows? But there were some really neat explanations to it, because again, we're in a point where we know that there's going to be a ton of new people coming in, which is why one of the reasons they're labeling it as season 1,
right?
As opposed to series 14 or season 40, depending on who you want to talk to.
40.
But it is season 40 as far as full 15 Doctors. But there was a great scene that was added in. Disney was asked to provide notes, keeping in mind
not demands, but notes.
Notes, and they do run one of the largest pre-screening companies on the planet. They know what they're doing as far as pre-screening stuff. So they sent a note saying the Doctor doesn't appear soon enough in the episode, and so we got this great scene where he comes out and gets a snowman head dropped on his head from the top of, as it turns out, the building that Rose worked in that did get blown up, if I remember right. But it was the same building, just from a different angle, which is kind of neat. And that scene was hilarious. We get a great, one of Shooty's, I think, best Doctor moments. You get the arrogant Doctor moments, where the cop is like, I need to make a report here. Name, the Doctor. Occupation, not a doctor.
That box.
Where do I live? That blue box over there. Now, excuse me, I'm out of here. It was a great little just bit, and then the cop kind of chases after him, going, wait, and hey, yes, your girlfriend, your girlfriend's gonna say yes. She wants to, you got a ring there, and he deduces how this went, which worked really, really well. You get his effervescence, you get his brain, you get his snark, all in this scene, which was great. I'm curious as to what they would have filled that time with otherwise, quite frankly. But also, I've said from the beginning that being a Christmas special really felt like it should have been a 90-minute special.
Yeah.
So I think they could, whatever they took out, they probably didn't need to. But
the thing I really loved about that cop scene too, and the reaction that he gets from the cop, and the reaction that Ruby has, where she takes a while to piece everything together. I feel like not just in Doctor Who, but a lot of sci-fi. We've gotten a little bit jaded about the fact that our audiences have all seen Spider-Man No Way Home. So we know what the multiverse is. We know everything. And so a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, aliens are real, whatever. But the cop's reaction of being so flabbergasted, and it's almost like he doesn't know if he saw a ghost or an angel. And I love hearkening back to those days of sci-fi, and you know, that we still would feel that way. We still wouldn't jump to the conclusion of aliens just because it is the Doctor Who universe.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't necessarily believe all of that stuff, but people believe other things. And that's why I love that they're leaning into the fantasy too, because we don't always know what it is that we're seeing. And even though we know Doctor, alien, TARDIS, time travel, it feels concrete to us. To someone else, it's so ephemeral.
And we with that not taking, oh, sorry, go ahead. Another crazy fact is the sharpness of the tongue defeats the sharpness of the warrior is a Gallifreyan on the Sonic. Yes. So that on that Sonic is a Rwandan saying written in Gallifreyan, Shudigatwa being Rwandan Scottish. So that was a really neat detail for them to do that. And I love that they did that.
And I'm not saying that I just went through and found, you know, STL files of his Sonic, but yeah, if you desperately want one, it can get printed. Depends who here knows how to paint really well. It's time for painting. I might print you one.
I've got a guy. I don't paint, but I got a guy.
I don't know this relationship, but especially Kevo. I'm bringing up the merchant, and we're talking about the 15th and the 14th Doctor Sonic. He was like, you think Disney would have been on top of this? Just like those things would have been selling off the shelf. But if kids didn't even know what this was, they would be like, "Cool! This is like, what does it do? It lights up and everything." I'm just like,
I think it even shows how hands off they are. That there isn't merchandise. They learned their lesson from Grogu, where they didn't have merchandise ready for Christmas, and I don't think they would have done that again if they had been more involved. If they had more involvement, because I completely agree. They would want to be selling these at Disney stores. So I'm really surprised.
I feel like we're probably going to get to that point, because something that we've noted on the show in the past is that a lot of those licensing agreements have been expiring and getting pulled, and the merch for Doctor Who has started to dwindle again.
Yeah.
And I can't help but wonder if that is not, at least in part, because the merchandising machine that is the mouse is going to be taking that over at some point in the foreseeable future. Similarly to, I think, you know, it's hard to find some of Jodie's episodes online because I think they pulled them, but I think those streaming rights still belong to other companies. They're just saying, here's some money so that you don't air that. And they're going to pull all of those classic things onto Disney Plus as well.
do you think they're pulling a Marvel where Universal and Disney have to kind of share what's going on around here? But
no, I wouldn't go that far yet.
No,
that is 100% not what's happening.
Because Disney used to have, at one point, Universal and Disney both sold Doctor Who merchandise, and for some reason, post Capaldi, Universal dropped it. Disney had it for a little while longer, but the only place you get it was the UK Pavilion. But Melanie, you remember they had the shirts.
Yeah, it just never sold. That stuff never sold because the same stuff was always in that back corner, very back corner, by where the English and British invasion used to play. Yeah, I know exactly where you're talking about.
They never updated it. They never changed it out.
They got They got amazing hits on the Disney Plus YouTube channel for the trailer drop. I was looking at it and comparing it to a lot of their other videos, which they got like 5 million in the first week. I want to say some crazy millions of numbers really fast, way more than it got from the BBC drop. So I really think they need to pay attention to this deal that they've made if they're not, because I think they really could be capitalizing on an American audience, really getting it out there and getting it in front of new faces, and it would really help boost the franchise. And if they don't pay attention, people aren't going to see it.
Oh, hell, yeah. miniature TARDISes at Epcot. You know, have a police box in the UK and miniature TARDISes. And even if the kids didn't have a clue, this is a where is my TARDIS?
I desperately want. I want to be able to. I mean, I'm not in Florida, so I would never get to just randomly do this. But walk through Epcot and have in the British, usually in the British section, just the TARDIS just appears. One morning, the park opens and there's a TARDIS in the middle of the ground. Then it's gone, and then maybe 2 days later, it appears over there. Kind of behind the bush where it's really poorly hidden, and then the next day it's over there, and then maybe 2 weeks later it shows up in Turkey or whatever. They just drop it randomly in bits and pieces.
Would not be hard.
And not mention it. Don't make an announcement. Don't make a big deal of it. Just
they could literally do the same thing that they were doing with Game of Thrones with the throne, where they kept putting the Iron Throne in different areas and not telling. It became this weird kind of really like secret scavenger hunt where you had to find it, and it was. But no, the other part I wanted to quickly say was in regards to merchandise, the licensing. I have a feeling that the BBC is allowing a lot because they gave their merchandising rights away to everybody. I've seen and I've had meetings with the Doctor Who, with BBC America, with BBC at the licensing expo in Vegas. So I tiny bit know what they do. So they send their license. They have many contracts and all this other kind of fun stuff. I have a feeling that they're letting all of these other contracts atrophy or lapse. So once they are lapsed, Disney is probably going to be prepared to going, look, we want this, but we're not going to pick it up bits and pieces as it comes along. They're not going to want that. They're probably waiting for every facet of, every type of toy, every type of flashlight, every type of item that's a keychain, whether or not it's a point of sale purchase, what are the, all those things. And then on top of, I want the U.S. market, I want the North American market, I want the European market, I want everything in this country, that's when they're going to start really negotiating and making that contract so that way it's completely inclusive to what they want. I think that's what Disney's on hold with. Saying, look, once all of these lapse, we're taking it. And I think that's what they're waiting on.
I just want to get to Candace's questions because she asked it, and if anybody wants to jump in, question about the handpicking of the gold tooth. What if it was Missy? I'm not sure. That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Anybody have a?
That would be kind of funny. Was Missy gone?
Pulls herself back.
Myself back.
I dropped this.
I think it was Kate, though.
Me.
Another case. Oh, okay. Here we go.
I personally think it's Kate, and it's going to the vault, even though didn't the vault get blown?
Well, here's the thing: when we were doing our we were talking about theme parks, the Doctor Who the ride, and what Dave just mentioned. I said I had a different idea, and I thought surely because it had a high presence, I actually thought Doctor Who would end up at Universal. Because everybody who loves Harry Potter somehow has osmosis going into the Whoniverse, and they kind of go back and forth. What we had like 30, 40 actors who went
Super Wholock.
Super Wholock, right? And I mentioned on that show, I'm sure I did, where the TARDIS would appear, you would hear the dematerialization, and then when it's about to disappear, you would see this plume of smoke, you would hear it dematerialize and it would go underneath. And then the TARDIS would show up, like if you're familiar with Universal, it would show up by Marvel. And then the next moment it would show up at Jurassic Park. And the next moment it would show up at another land. But it would do this throughout the day. And it would gain attention for people who were looking out and like, oh, where's the TARDIS going to show up now? Type deal. I thought it was a great idea.
They could do that with Magic Kingdom because they've got the utility.
They could.
I think it'd be logistically harder to do it in the same day. Epcot they could do, but it would probably like what Dave was saying, maybe a different day.
Different day would make more sense.
But yeah, you could really move it around if it was.
If they were going to do Epcot, keep it the UK, just bring it out past the red telephone booths, and put it there, and then occasionally you see the light go on, and you see a puff of smoke, and maybe the door opens or something like that. And
I put it by the gazebo.
Absolutely nuts. Taking their pictures on that would surpass Spaceship Earth eventually as the most pictures taken in front of an icon.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know where that's going.
Replace some of those phone booths. Replace the phone booth one for one.
I miss when the phone booths were real phones.
Pajama
there
pants.
was a while. There was a while where those phones were real.
Yeah.
They were real phones, and I had all 3 numbers and would call them. Seriously, you could and have them ring and watch people talk. And you could
Right, I forgot. That's why they took him out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Bastards.
It's
Roger,
always
I'm
a
super
question.
excited for that.
It's always a question with people who make up stuff in Disney Imagineers and all that. The first question that come out of my mouth is, "You expect people to walk around here, right?" You always have the great idea, which I like the great idea, but then you put the element of the equation of people in there, and I'm like, "Oh, everybody wants to grab things off the wall. Everybody wants to walk around. Nobody. The one thing that really just drives me nuts. I know Diagon Alley is gorgeous over at our Universal Orlando. The problem is, I'm like, did you expect people to walk around here? Because they're just constantly bumping into each other. They're constantly walking into. I mean, that thing fills up so fast, and the shops are so tiny. You have to walk in here like this. Yeah, and it's just like. Just expect people to walk around.
And that was the best they could get J.K. Rowling up to approve because she was so snooty about every single minor detail. That was the best they could do. And the other side, which is a little bit better, is almost their apology for how bad the original is.
Yes.
Over by Islands of Adventure.
Oh, Hogsmeade?
No, the Diagon Alley one, the new one. The new one. That's a little bit better.
Okay.
But yeah, Hogsmeade is bad.
I'm Sonic Science.
I have
so pretty.
You know what? Kevo. I'm gonna derail us because I don't feel like going in and typing this with the MonsterVerse. There was too many giant apes. It lost its scale. Spoiler. I felt that there's too much. It's in that Godzilla and Kong, the new Empire, that it just lost its scale. I loved it. My only other complaint was they did not keep Mothra's lore or music, because that's important. Mothra's music is second only to Godzilla's, which they only barely touched on it as well. So like, but
yeah, they did
has nothing to do with Doctor Who. The Planet of the Apes, also super excited for that. I can do a whole nother episode on that.
Maybe
but to keep to Doctor Who and keep this from being a 3-hour show.
Okay.
We now have a season 1 coming, and so this is a quick glance that Kevo put together, with all of the title cards that they released, talking about the new season, and I want so one of them is Space Babies. Now here's the thing: we also have. This is another one of those, is this coincidence or is this carrying the plot through? We have a bunch of scenes where Ruby Sunday as a baby is dropped off, and that's part of her story. We have this other baby that is kidnapped by the goblins that like babies. We have all of these characters that are like, don't know what's going on. So is Space Babies going to be something just goofy, or is it going to be really, really, really intertwined in a way we don't think? Thoughts?
I see it.
I don't know. I'm here for it. Let's go. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting.
I like pontificating. I like having theory time, but sometimes I think I'm at a point where I'm just kind of like, you know what? I don't have enough breadcrumbs to come up with an idea. So here I'm just kind of, I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, and for the most part, I am as well. We've got that with Mrs. Flood, who we didn't talk about either, where there's all these theories about her character. And we do know she returns. I don't remember which one of these episodes she's supposed to return in, but she does come back. And then our second episode, which is going to be dropping at the same time, on the same day, so that we're getting 2 episodes for the premiere on the 10th of May, is The Devil's Cord, Jinx Monsoon playing a character that we don't have a name for, but that looks
Me looking at stuff.
as as cheesy and ridiculous as you might expect from from a classic Doctor story. With definitely some Jinx Monsoon flavor to it, full stop. I'm super excited for it. This is also because they've released some more promo images with overlaying what we know is the Beatles episode, or we're fairly certain it's the Beatles episode. So there's definitely gonna be more music involved there.
Yay!
All I could think of was when I saw that, it was just like when Doctor Strange is fighting himself with music. I was like, is that going to be the thing that they pick? Because we also know that RTD is a big fan of Marvel. He's an uber nerd about that. That's where Jack Harkness came in, isn't he? So I wouldn't be surprised if he saw Marvel.
And now everyone gets that.
Yeah. That's fair. I don't think they'll go quite that far, but I'm definitely curious.
Wouldn't rule it out though.
No, I wouldn't. I would not rule it out. At this point, I would not rule anything out. Or almost anything. And even the things that I rule out, I would not be surprised if I was wrong about. The only thing I'll rule out is that Disney is not in control, people. Disney is not in control of this show.
They can give notes, but that's it.
Exactly. They
just daddy.
And then moving forward, we've got 73 yards.
Okay.
Not much out there on this. Clearly, we can see some snow. Yeah, we got a tree. We got some winter snow. So
it says established 1863.
Yeah.
What happened in the world in 1863 to the Google?
To the Google.
Not Sleepy Hollow, is it?
Google.
Google it.
I don't believe so, because there's is this the everyone's comparing it to Bridgerton episode and the reference Bridgerton?
No, that's Rogue.
That's what I thought. So who knows? I don't think we've got much.
Wait, this one's not next.
Oh, this one's not next?
Well, that was the Emancipation Proclamation was in 1863.
Okay, what is the next one? Because I have these out of order.
Boom.
Boom is next. Boom.
Yeah, this is Stephen Moffat's grand return to Doctor Who.
Boom.
Of course. He's back. Which I'm good with, because I still believe he, as much as if you go back and listen to my reviews and all that fun stuff, I just got tired of him as being a showrunner. He's still a phenomenal writer. So I'm ecstatic by this. I'm good with this. I know my first knee jerk is, but I'm like, no, wait. I thought he was just spreading himself too thin between Sherlock and Who and all those other projects. That was my little, but anyway,
and he's not now.
Exactly. He's not now. So I'm 300% ready for this. I'm already kind of setting the bar high, because I know he's pouring himself into this.
Oh, is that
and
right?
I shouldn't. Oh, the London opened.
Oh, okay.
And boom goes the dynamite.
And if anybody knows about the history of Doctor Who and the London Underground, yeah, that's interesting.
I do know that the Traveling TARDIS is the first TARDIS on the Elizabeth line.
Really?
Did I? Yes, we went over that when Mark and I were over there running around. We were running around on the Elizabeth line with the Traveling TARDIS. We were the first TARDIS on the Elizabeth line.
I'll take my wins.
I thought you knew that. I thought we definitely talked about
it.
You
might have said it, and it just went in one ear out the other.
Probably. But yes, boom. This definitely looks like a sci-fi kind of a blast door. We've had a few space episodes, so who knows where this could be anything.
Yeah, Moffat is back for one episode.
Yes, Moffat is back.
He's writing one episode.
Although the rumor is he might also be writing the Christmas episode, because we know we're getting a Christmas episode. As this was released,
Russell said he wrote it because he made a comment saying that he was writing a Christmas episode on Christmas this last year for the first time ever. But he's also a liar. So
yeah.
He posted,
and I respect that.
Joy to the world. So we'll
I get
see,
it, Dad.
We'll see if
I get it.
He could just be trolling us, just like everybody else. We as a fandom are all about eating up whatever is fed to us, legitimate or not.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I just remember that one time when Moffat said the Master's not returning. It's somebody completely new, and I'm just like, okay. Everybody that I knew in my inner circle was going like, it's the Master. I even went, you know what? I'm just going to jump out of it and just say it's the Ronnie, because we've never seen the Ronnie or the monk, just to pull it off. And surely enough, it was the Master in the form of Missy. I'm like, everybody face palmed right there, just like, are you
the
kidding?
Guardian of the Nether Sphere, she was being called. Okay, sure.
So
I
we'll
want
see
the
where that
Ronnie. I
goes.
want the classic Time Lords, because that would be really cool just to see how they would interact with the current Doctor.
I agree.
100%.
Ronnie cannot be used again because wasn't she from Pip and Jane Baker?
She's from Pip and Jane, but I think she's open season for them because she's used in Big Finish.
You're right. We did have another Ronnie. She lasted for a couple episodes, never to return though.
Yeah,
that's why I kind of wonder.
I don't mind. I think it's Siobhan. Her name is the Ronnie that they do. Yeah, Siobhan. And I can't think. Siobhan.
Is it Siobhan? Siobhan.
Siobhan. She's good, but I mean, Katie O'Mara, come on. It's just there was just something that in the combination, she was the right lightning strike for the Ronnie, and they did her a wonderful service for Mark, and they did a disservice for Time, meaning Time and the Ronnie, Mark of the Ronnie. I'm just like, okay, what's with the nose stud now?
Yeah,
like what are we doing?
And then after Boom. We get the one that I had out of order.
Right.
So there we go. 73 yards.
1863 linoleum was patented, so that's clearly.
That's clearly what this is.
That's how many yards of linoleum?
Yards of linoleum.
Exactly. It's how many yards of linoleum.
Alien Killer Linoleum. I want to see it.
Well, I'm also wondering if it is because so would they be using the word yards in Britain?
Yes. Yes, we do yards.
Okay.
That's what I was just wondering. Unless that's one of those vile American measurements again. So I was just kind of wondering.
That's Vale. I'll drink it. 73 yards of Vale.
Yeah.
It does look like a tavern sign too.
Okay, this looks like candy. Sorry. If I see Dot and Bubble, that's a candy bar or something like that.
I think that is text messages.
Yeah,
I think that's text messaging.
And we can definitely see in the background a bunch of what they have to be screens because you've got faces, people.
They look like avatars, like in a Wii.
Like they might be video chat.
Yeah.
Who's the cat and mouse from Simpsons?
Itchy and Scratchy.
Itchy and Scratchy. There you go.
We all raced each other on that one. Like we're gonna do it.
And then after that, we got Empire of Death.
See, that's a title.
No, we don't. That is the opposite. That is once again out of order.
That is the finale.
Rogue.
Come on, Rogue.
Jonathan Groff.
This is Bridgerton. This is the only other episode written by someone not Russell T Davis.
Hosted by the Duchess of Pemberton. Yeah. The Order of Dancing.
This is written by the person who ran the first season of Loki.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's gonna be now the expectation just went through the roof.
Right.
As Loki is, as everyone knows, the best season of Doctor Who.
It was good.
But there's a lot of fun rumors about this. I mean, the Bridgerton jokes aside, there's a lot of talk about Jonathan Groff's character being Captain Jack, possibly a recast or just another time agent.
I like that.
I'm curious, but he's also a really big name.
Can he be King George? I want to be King George. I know it's not the right
so
time.
happy to hear you
I
said
wanted that too so bad. Clearly not King George, but I desperately wanted that myself as well. Yeah.
Kevo, I hope we see Gambit.
Nah.
You know I had to say it.
Very funny.
I had to
Not
say
a human style show. Okay.
Now I do too, but you know. And then we get into Empire of Death. And and there's been some. I've seen some rumors that this might be or at least implying some Dalek stuff, because it is going to be it's a 2-part, but no one's really sure if it is a direct 2-part or just a really 2 very tightly knit episodes to finish off season 1. It definitely is a very Dalek-esque title, just without Dalek in there. Off topic, X's for show idea. Doctor versus Captain. I've been thinking about more I think about it, more I love the idea. Cisco versus 8 or Pike versus 12th. I love the concept. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
That could be
The
interesting.
brackets.
Yep.
Yeah, bracteering.
Bracketeering.
And then closing out the season, we have the Legend of Ruby Sunday, which again we know that she shows up in the next season for a couple of episodes at least, but this is going to be a fairly significant jump in whatever her story arc is. Obviously, now when she first appears, they're filming a television show, with the real life person whose name I've just lost.
Davina.
Thank you.
Davina.
Yeah.
McCall.
Who I thought was a fictional character.
Yeah, not a fictional character, not a fictional show. This is this thing that she actually does.
No.
So,
yep.
I'm wondering if there's going to be some more callback to that.
Yeah, I agree.
So and I suspect, because again we know she's coming back for at least a few episodes, that it's going to be. I'm expecting a cliffhanger, a fairly significant one, personally.
At least open-ended, probably.
Yeah.
You know, something that I was surprised by these specials. I definitely thought Donna was going to die. How dramatic a lot of the stuff was, and Donna's opening monologue was so dramatic. I really thought, and I think classic Russell T Davies would have, but I don't know if Russell T Davies today necessarily feels that same need to go for the jugular. So I wonder if maybe Ruby's story will just be kind of left a little open-ended and we can see her again. How much do we love seeing Mel? Why did we keep killing companions so we can never see them again? I don't think he wants to do that anymore. So that's my hope.
Yeah. So Christian,
yes, sir.
I know you've got to run, and we're going to end this fairly quickly, but without giving us a full-on review because you haven't seen anything. What are you thinking? Are you excited?
Have it sound.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm with Melanie's camp. It's just like, okay, nice pictures. What now? So, and still catching up on the last technically 4 episodes. I'm going to be taking a look at those over time, but I'm kind of weird like this because I didn't like it that they start off series 1 with Christopher Eccleston. I thought it would have been cool. They said that was series 28 to make it go. So people kind of like, wait a minute. Why is the series 28? Because I don't think there's much of a difference. When I grew up with the 4th Doctor, and having to learn that there were 3 guys before him, I thought that was a cool concept. It baffled my mind. But it was like, okay, now I want to learn about these guys, and now there's this new guy coming in. He's blonde. I'll try to see him. But of course, I agree with like my friend Patty Hawkins is like, you took my doctor, prepare to die. I'm just like. There's always a new person that's coming in there, but I had never known about the past, and I thought it would be cool if it just kind of sanctioned on. But let me see here. I just want to bring attention to folks. I want to first show this. I thought this was cool. This is the Eclipse. I didn't have the funky glasses, so I took it straight forward, and I hid my eyes behind my cell phone. But Melanie has a cool little picture right there.
I had the funky glasses, and you put the glasses over the cell phone lens, and that's what you got in Tampa.
Nice.
Oh,
lovely.
So that is cool. Plus, I'm very happy to see, first of all, we've joined forces with the Dalek builders, and especially a particular Dalek named DALEKHAL. And I think this is one of the best pictures I've seen in quite some time of DALEKHAL.
Bless Alex.
Yeah.
Bless her.
It's just, she just loves having out there fun. But you're going to see DALEKHAL and me. First convention, technically, in this year. We're going to be at Space Coast Comic Con June 15th and the 16th over at It's not in the old place, and I apologize, but if you look up Space Coast Comic Con, you can find it on Facebook, and they have all the information there. But Hal and I will be there if you want pictures with either one of us or just want to geek out Doctor Who. We will be there that weekend of June 15th to the 16th. And I never know what Hal's going to do these days. I mean, seriously, I don't.
This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
So that's
okay.
And you can check out, of course, go onto our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Please subscribe there. We've got a ton of you, but if you want the latest content on the show, youtube.com/Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, and there are tons and tons of shorts, just like the one that you just saw with Markiplier, and many, many more, especially with DALEKHAL going to get an oil change. We just had some fun times out there, and hopefully we're going to be gearing up and doing it again. So
I can't not let the Markiplier mentioning, you think about this all night long. You gotta
hit ow every time.
Speaking of ow,
that would be a great sound alert. Ow, 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 ow. Somebody just record one of my episodes and just say ow, ow, ow the whole time. Just record 10 hours of me saying ow, 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 ow.
Embarrassing.
Tom said, yeah, clip it. Dave will run it all day long.
But two. Anyway.
just a little bit of a throwback to that, because I couldn't not.
Anyway.
And it's still sitting in our videos, so,
Anyway, it's great to be back. I'll see you guys next week. And bless everybody on this panel and everybody who's not here, who's helped out. Mackenzie, Nisha, Jessica, Faith. I mean, there's a ton of other people I just can't address to, but just kept the fires running while I've been away. So I appreciate you all so much. And everybody who's been watching, that you would think that, there we go, that you would spend an hour here, or an hour plus with us, just geeking out Doctor Who, and it was worth your time to come and see what we do here. And there's going to be a lot more. So I promise you, I hate it that you can do that. I hate it he can do that on his game. So, guys, I'm going to run for now. I'll see you next week. And we got some really great stuff coming up there. We're going to be reviewing Series 1 of the Shooties, the Christmas special, and we're going to get back into Big Finish, too. We're going to be doing a whole of Big Finish, including an episode that I really want to hear, River Song and the Ninth Doctor teaming up. Definitely want to hear about that one. So everybody, please take care of yourselves. Don't forget to say thank you on the way out, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you next week. Take care.
Thank you.
See you soon. So,
bye.
So, I think we can end this, but I want to do it after party. Now, you guys don't have to stick around if you don't want. But I've been promising something for a while, and we do have to talk about Mark's wonderful thing as well. So, but after Mark, I've been promising I'd show off some stuff, and I've got some more things underneath this cover to show off. If people want to stick around and check it out before I move over to my channel and do some stuff. But for now, we have something much more important. Melanie, what do we got here? You got that handy?
Mark, hold on, let me find it. Where did it go? Okay, hold on. Okay, you're deleting and adding. Okay, it moved to the top. So, our good friend Mark here, even if you want to add comments in the chat, sir, I will pull them up. But this past weekend, there was a Bedford Who charity con. I believe this means number 9. And if I can find, I don't think I have it still up where he was explaining everything. But there was a big convention. It was a Doctor Who convention over in the UK in Bedford. The proceeds went to these 3 different charities. I'm going to see if I can't find the write-up of what exactly each one was. Sorry, I had it up before, but then it's gotten buried. Yay!
Oh, you got it?
Here we go. I got it. So Smart, Smart is a charity that looks after the local homeless community. The second one, Faces, they support vulnerable local families. And the Bedford Food Bank. Lastly, the Bedford Food Bank. They provide emergency food to more than 2,000 people a month A third of their clients are children. So Bedford had a very large convention, and again, all the proceeds went to this. And guess how much money they raised? A whopping 17,101 pounds. That is insane, guys. When Mark, I don't know how many days the convention was. I'm trying to see if he's still in the chats. Mark Robinson, but you can see there's a lot of friendly faces and amazing Who celebrities in this photo. I know I can quickly spot Tim Treloar, who is the third Doctor voice actor in Big Finish. He's been on the show a few times. There's Paul McGann. He's been on here twice as well. Who else am I missing?
They made that in one day.
They made that in one day.
Incredible.
One bloody day. That's insane. So bravo. Holy. I mean, I'm thinking this was over a weekend. No, they did that in one day. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal job. But yeah, I think if you go to their Facebook page, let's see if I can find it. Bedford Who Charity Con. So I will put up the other photo once again, so you can pick the words out. So Bedford Who Charity Con. So if you go to facebook.com/Bedford Who Charity Con, you can go ahead and see a lot more photos. And yeah, I believe you can actually still see the link if you want to donate. You can. But a fun time to be had, and just very, very, very good job. And hopefully we'll see more about it next year. This next one is going to be a 10. Maybe they can even go crazy, even crazier in helping out some wonderful, wonderful charities.
There it is.
Thank you. So
Nice.
check.
And I will dump it into the comments everywhere as well. There you are, folks. Wherever you're watching it, you'll see it popping up. So you can definitely check that out. Yep, Daphne
Ashbrook, I love her.
Yep, she's in that photo.
I need to meet her.
If she's ever on this show and I'm not on it, I'm gonna be mad at all of you.
I will find you. I will fly to where you are, wake you up, whatever.
I have
Be
so
like,
many
look.
questions about the OC.
Oh yeah, I need that's the only one we haven't had really. So we need to have her on the show, 100%.
We'll start a campaign. Daphne, we want you. Daphne, please.
Yes. Everybody out there, everybody, go ahead, share out a screen cap, share out that, and say, hey, we want you. Go to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
And then, Gemma Redgrave was there.
Yep.
I saw her in the background. She was standing right behind Paul. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, there's an Ood lurking in the background too.
Yep. Guy in the background there too. Yeah.
Ood, Time Lord.
Ood in the back.
Oh yeah.
Random unit member. I know Mark was here somewhere. There's a behind Gemma. There looks to be a Time Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she's wearing the gear and it's just, you don't realize that.
No.
But yeah.
That's absolutely amazing.
Good stuff.
Love when we get the charity stuff going on. So definitely check out Bedford Who Charity Con. And yes, we wish. We all want it.
Lord knows. Let me see if I can try.
Everybody
work on it.
find her on every platform and just tag us and say, Daphne, everyone else in the movie has been on this show. You need to be on it.
All right. Okay.
Fingers crossed and stuff.
That's her. That's her calling right now.
Mark just
Yeah.
It was actually Mark sending another picture. Or two.
Yeah, Mark, come on.
Yeah.
Leave the line open for Daphne.
I know, right?
Exactly, right? So we'll yeah. We can get vamp for a couple more seconds. I think Melanie's trying to grab those pictures. Yes.
I'm trying to get the pitch.
So we'll just vamp. But yeah, so after the after party of me hijacking the stream and looking at some of the stuff I brought back from Gamma Expo, I am going to pop over to my channel. And play some Mega Man. I'm going to play some of the video game stuff because I can, but also Mega Man Adventures, which is a... is that the right button? Is not that one. There we go.
Nice.
The amazing Kess has put out They've also got a Spy Family game and a Contra game there, and these really cool.
Bonk.
I forgot.
Is that a perler? It's like a perler kind of.
It's like drop. It's
oh,
drop
it's
dots.
it's the drop dot. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so they've come out with some D20s and some not drop dot D20s as well. They've recently come out with. So I had to throw those up as a background.
Photos are loaded.
Along the excellent. So I will just go away from that, and you can bring those up.
Yep. There's Mark.
Mark, the
looking
dead
to the left.
center gentleman with
Candy bucket full of candy.
full of money and collections. Him flanked with everybody in his brigadier uniform, and then we have everybody again.
Ooh.
Wow.
So very cool photos.
I like that.
Line of Daleks behind them.
Well done.
Yay!
Yay!
I like the Centauran.
That's the happiest.
Like everybody, quite
I've ever
frankly.
seen.
Looks it's Michael Myers as a Centauran, or
That's what
Centauran
I
as
was.
Myers.
That was totally what I was getting a vibe off of. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
Michael Myers, except it's
One's a
Centauran.
classic burnt Sontaran and one is an Auton, I think.
Yeah.
That makes more sense actually.
Okay, now I'm all right. And then back again.
Yeah.
Just to see everybody. So
Yay.
ta-da!
Nice.
And that's that.
Exactly.
Well, now it's my turn to run off because I am
All right.
starting, and
So,
we're
yes,
almost at
thank
2
you.
hours.
We'll do the thing here. So if you're watching the show, thank you for watching, everybody. Make sure that you do make sure to like this video wherever it is you're watching it, whatever platform. Comment, keep commenting because we have to feed those algorithms. Share the video out again, no matter where you are. Subscribe because that helps us so much and costs you nothing. And did I click the video off, or I thought there was a little bit longer to that video? Maybe just lagged.
I didn't click it.
But yeah, I'm gonna stick around on this
Okay.
channel and do a little bit of a box opening here as promised. So you guys are welcome to stick around or not as you like. Melanie has to
time.
go, and
We hungry.
maybe you haunt someone will haunt the comment section. Maybe not. Whatever.
Maybe.
Go
I don't know.
go
I can eat and click on my phone.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll jump over to the after party. Boom, after party. So,
show us things.
So I've got a couple of different sets of things here, and I'll be really fast on the first couple for a reason.
I'm furious.
Because these two I've actually streamed recently. So if you do go over to my my YouTube channel or my Twitch channel, because it's been recent enough they're probably over there, you can actually see me playing these in the solo modes for this. Sweet Deals, I also just wrote up my review on this because I was playing it yesterday, is an absolutely adorable set collection game where you have all these little anthropomorphic foods that are absolute. Of course, there's another strudel. Freaking adorable. Except for the strudel. Hate the strudel. Strudel always comes. And there is different versions. Like if there's a plain donut. There's a frosted donut. Some different pies.
No wonder Melanie was getting hungry.
Exactly.
Right?
And look at all that ice cream. There's an ice cream place in St. Pete's that I actually want to go to, and I can't remember what it's called. But the owner of it came out with a game called Black Hole Rainbows, which is fabulous. But Sweet Deals is from Surprisingly Fun Games. And it is surprisingly fun. It is also surprisingly cutthroat. For something this cute, I can't explain it. There's no reason that this game should be cutthroat. But after you play one game and it's like, okay, this is a cute game. And you play a second game and you go, oh, okay, there's a little bit more to this. And by the time you've got a third game, it's like, okay, that's it. We're going for this.
All that sugar.
Yeah, exactly. You're like on the angry sugar high. You're an angry 3-year-old who's had too much sugar. So that's Sweet Deals. Available at some of your friendly local gaming stores, but also at Sweet Deals website, which I believe is just Sweet Deals. Yes. Surprisinglyfungames.com. Yeah.
Great name.
Yep. And like I said, you can see me playing the solo version of this game over on my channel. And then we've got Sirens. Sirens is normally a two-player game, but also has an individual solo mode. Very small. So there's all your cards, and that's not even. These are your main cards here. This is extra stuff. And it is based on Orpheus, Legend of Orpheus, and you're actually building songs.
Ooh! Oh wow!
And so you're trying to connect flow and different parts of the song. And the neat thing is, once you're done, you can actually just move the layout of the cards a bit, and there's an app. And you can scan in your cards, and it will play music. Wow. It will play a song based on the cards that you have put together. And so it's really, really neat. And the publisher actually popped on near the end of my stream for this. And joined me to clarify a few things, because I'd scored things slightly differently. But yeah, so we got to look at this, and I played a few rounds of this. This one is on my YouTube channel specifically. I also did this one on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS feed. So, but it's been I've taken it down now. I cut out the. I did a box opening on this, which some of you joined me for. Thank you again for those who did. Of Kobolds Ate My Baby, which was the other thing. If you look up in the corner of my screen, that's the wrong one. Up above that, Kobolds Ate My Baby is a wonderful light RPG, and I came home to the box with that, so I was super excited and didn't want to wait. So I'm like, oh, I have enough people, I will do a box opening of that. You also see Park Life, which is that cute little hedgehog that's hitting Kickstarter as well. Pie with Ice Cream, yes, that there are in Sweet Deals there are a handful of hybrid cards like Pie and Ice Cream, or weirder ones like a strudel cupcake.
Strudel.
I'm confused by that one, but also intrigued.
Strudel cupcake.
But yeah, Sirens is, again, really fairly simple to learn, fairly quick to play. I mean, a tiny box.
Yeah.
And just it's really, I've never played something quite like this.
I'm writing this down. Nico would love it.
Yeah, by all means. And like I said, you can pop over and watch the video on my channel. And like I said, the it won't be under the live section, it'll be under the video section, because I edited it and re-uploaded it. And it is somewhere in here. Do I still have it in here? I thought I still had my channel. That's my Twitch channel, but it's the same for YouTube. It's TheRatHole.ca. Please subscribe, blah, 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 because we love you when you do that. This was something extra special, and I'm going to be doing something out of this. This is level 1. This is the level 1 that's not out yet. This comes out for Free RPG Day 2024, which is not until June. And what this is the 5th volume of this from level 9 or games, which is the same people that put out the Kobolds Ate My Baby. That is still up on my picture. And it is all sorts of little short games of all sorts of different types, and they label it. So here's a Golem's Command. It's rated for, recommended for 13 plus. It's some back and forth mechanics. It's got a 3+ player count, and it's a more serious game. We've got Your Dungeon Room by Room, which is a solo game. No GM required. All audiences, so it doesn't matter how old you are. And it's a fun game. Is how it's tagged. Asimov May Forbid It. Another solo game, so no GM required for all audiences. It's a bit more serious. And in this, you're actually using cards to break not just Asimov's rules of robotics, but also a few that you create yourself. And you're kind of journaling how you are breaking these rules. Is this the one that requires, somewhere in here there's one that requires you to have a Discord channel. Virus Attack. I'm 2 in here that I'm looking at maybe actually filming a little actual play video for in time for Free RPG Day in June. But I'm super excited. I also, you notice it looks a little bit cranky. I had a slight leak of liquids in my car, so it held up surprisingly well.
I was gonna say it survived. So
Yeah,
that's a good.
I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, I was already looking at like, should I do some of the other level 1 solo games? Maybe. I don't do a lot of actual play stuff, but I might do something for this.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
really
it's something unique. And then this was just a player mat from Ultimate Guard that I got. It's just a thing. And this is another thing that I'm not going to give you all of the content for, but I want to show it off. This is an adventure calendar. This particular one is a 31-day themed polyhedral dice and more called Witch's Brew. It's an advent calendar. Normally, you'd have these at Christmas, 24 days.
Sure.
This is a 31-day one, and it is vaguely Christmas themed. I'm going to break the rules. You don't get to see that yet. Ha! I'm going to. Ow.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
I'm going to be making. I will be putting up all of this as content. I might try my hand at like TikToks or something. Those ticky-talky things that the kids are all doing. Opening up these over the course of a month. But you open up the back.
Ooh,
wow.
And so you've got all of these windows as you would in a big. If I turn it, I'm going to turn it this way just so you have a better view. So it's all shelves and then the witch's pot. So as you're holding it up like this, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Very
cool. And then that's just the inside there.
Nice.
But I'm gonna open up the first one.
For us?
For you, for us.
On the 9th? Oh my god.
On April 9th? I know, I was gonna say the same
April
thing.
9th. We're gonna go zoom.
This is wizardry.
I'm not going to hell for this, man.
Oh, we might. So there's our first door.
It's all Dave's fault.
It is all Dave's fault, but we're gonna do this. This is from Black Oak Dice. And so we open this up.
Chocolate?
Yeah. We reach in there. We reach in and
what the
spider?
A little spider die. So this is D4.
Amazing.
Yeah. And you can. This one's interesting because it is. You got 1, 2, 3 on the labeled on this side, which is pretty standard. And then so you see whichever side is up is your number that you've rolled. But if you roll that side, would be the 4, right? But instead of 4, it's all spiders. So that is the first door. And then you'll have to tune in the fall to see when I open the second door.
What?
But that will not be today.
Jeez.
Dun, dun,
dun. I don't know.
Very unique dice. Wow.
So again, you can find that
with the T's.
Yep. Black Oak Workshop. There is also, I'm going to show you this other thing that I got from them. I'm just going to. There's a wintering one. And this one's a more traditional 24.
Okay.
As is.
Oh, nice.
This one. So they've been doing this. You'll notice these are all numbered. So this is, that one was 9, 10, 13. So they've had a few of these over the course of the years.
All 13.
And they've got the new ones that they've got coming out. Oh my goodness, are so great. I can't wait to see them. But I wanted to be able to show this off because it is just such, I've been like, I want to open this, but I have not had time and I have to do, my job with it. And then the other game that I was really super excited to open up, and I, again, have not, so you all get to witness it with me, is Factory 42 for the Greater Good Edition.
What's that about, Dave?
You get to experience a work week of Marxist dwarves in a steampunk industrial setting.
Future.
You're running a dwarven communist economy.
Huh.
And the neat thing is you can see there's a sort of dice tower in there, but you don't put the dice in there. You actually put resources in there.
Oh.
And I'll be able to show it to you better when I open this up.
It's a silo.
Is these resources? There's holes. There's cutouts in this. So what you put in to the tower is not necessarily what will come out of the tower.
I had a Ninja Turtle game like that.
Yeah, and this is really neat. And this is a Finnish company, so I was really happy. I'm like, yes. Oh, the paper. This is like a matte paper. This is a nice paper. Oh, it's not your usual glossy garbage that you would get in most. They've stepped that up. So there's and they've got a bunch of other games, and I do have a few others. Some of which I will actually stream. So here's there we go. It's a bureaucracy tower. Is what they call it. There's your rules summary, which is also on a nice cardstock. Wow, that's textured and everything. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. So you've got some of the tokens here and some of the parts to the tower. Again, nice thick punch board. There's this is a double layer, so you can, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. It's insets, you can hold stuff in there. And here's your main board, because it is in part a worker placement game, so you're going to be placing resources and workers in here to do actions. I only got a very brief look at everything while I was at the Gamma Expo. And yeah, so here's your individual player boards to do stuff, which is nice.
So Dave, what's the difference between this edition and the regular edition?
Honestly, I have no idea, and there may not be a regular edition. I honestly do not have that answer.
This could be the only edition.
It could be the only edition, and they're just being snarky because that's a legitimate thing. A fun desiccant that's not the powder stuff. That's a bit weird. You've got these are the meeple, like little workers. Different resources. So you just got some basic cubes. You got some smaller cubes. You got some stars. Some more different cubes. So there's all sorts of stuff. A bunch of I don't have no idea what the card does, but there's you can see that card art is beautiful. These are government orders. Let's see if I can find the tag to open this up. This is one of the ones I've been chomping at the bit to try, because it was so much fun to watch and kind of just watch the demo of while I was in. So these are okay. These are the art on those is all the same, but they do different things. So you've got boxes. These are elven commissions, a diadem, box of snow, space cookies. So they have the same art here, but different stats and I assume resources needed to get those. And then lucky day, every overseer may drop a cube from I'm assuming to the tower, from something to the tower of bureaucracy, and keep whatever falls through. So again, it's like if you knock stuff down, you're getting more out of it. Right. And there's a couple of different so those are events that happen. So these are, again, your government orders. These are things you're trying to build. You've got a heroic statue. Let's see if I can zoom in just a bit tighter. Let me make life easier. There we go. Heroic statue, nuts and bolts, Fosters, dry rations, survival packs. So these are all different sorts of things that you can build it with. So you can see this is your optimal build. This is the best possible way to build this, where you're going to get the best out of it. Or you got kind of like the standard way to build it. Then you've got the I got to just get this done standard. So you have different you can have different ways of getting the same goal, but you're going to get less out of it the faster and easier you do it. So that's kind of a unique way to do that. Again, because you're getting some of these resources through the Tower of Bureaucracy, which is not going to be ideal for you. You're not going to necessarily get everything.
Right.
So, yeah. So that is the very fast and dirty look at Factory 42. This one is a game that is 2 to 5 players and like a 60 to 90 minute game. Like this is a slightly crunchier game. This is not your sweet deals 10 minutes of fancy desserts. It is as much as you might like it to be. It is not. So that's kind of what I've pulled out right now. I did get other stuff, and I'll try and open those up as well for everybody down the road, because I people seem to like these box openings. You guys seem to enjoy it, certainly to join in there. Mark, how can it be a D4 when Spider has 8 legs? Wouldn't it be an L8? Oh, why did I even bring that up?
Mark.
Always rate it first, Dave.
Yeah, that is my mistake. I just saw Mark and I trusted Mark. Why did I do that?
Oh, with the fish jokes from the last video?
Yeah, I should not have. I know. This was clearly a mistake. Clearly a mistake.
Mark.
But yeah, so that's the box opening stuff that I've got. I am going to probably in about 50 minutes from now over on my channel, and I have not set up the studio yet for it. And so you're not going to be able to. You can kind of go over and haunt my page, but on the Twitch or on YouTube, and subscribe if you haven't already. But I will be playing. He said I'll be doing some Mega Man stuff, both the video games and the this wonderful game from Kests. And there is a version of this game that is very similar, that is Sonic based as well. They've just recently come out with. If I remember correctly, it is a very similar game. So that's going to be up over on my channel shortly. But I don't want to take up all this time. Kevo, where can we find you?
You can find.
I'm trying to solo him, and I'm actually removing him. Try that again.
Talk about the
Where
teeth.
can we find you, Kevo?
X's for show, doing our thing, doing what we usually do. We're going to have a comics broadcast tomorrow. We've been taking a look at X-Men 97 every week as it drops. It's fine. It's good. It's fine. This past Saturday, we did the premiere of Star Trek Discovery. That was super exciting. We're going to be adding Beacon 23 Season 2 to our science fiction coverage as well. That show is really trippy, so check that out. Doctor Who next month, obviously. Super stoked for all of that.
Excellent. And Rev, Tom, where can we find you?
You can find me a lot of times on the chat for X's for Show.
Well, yeah. It's party.
On Dave's show.
Yep.
But youtube.com/@ReverendAmagon, or you can find me on my Facebook page, Tasty Cake on the Soch. Thanks to Kevo for that one. I had to write it down to spell it correctly, and he had to send in the link.
Oh my!
Nice.
Did I spell it right?
Yeah, you're good.
And
Twitch, all that stuff.
Twitch, all of the places. And Nick, where are we looking for you?
You can find me on Nick Smith Films on Instagram, YouTube. You can check out some of my little films, or you can check out some of my big films. They're on Tubi and all over the place. One of them I worked on called The Abode. We're having our big screen premiere on Friday in upstate New York. But if you're not in upstate New York, you can stream it. So go check them out.
Very cool. Random question is, I've got this sitting up, this different screen up. Can you hear the music? Can you hear any music?
No.
No. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
this is not the main page. That's probably why. I'm just gonna pop into one of these here Mega Man games, and I want to play. That's a ad.
Yeah.
Can you hear the?
But we can hear it. Yeah.
We did.
No.
That was also really loud because it was through my thing, my thing. Anyhow, I'll figure that out after. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me, and thank everybody who is watching and has stuck around this long to see things. Hopefully I'll see you here in about 45 minutes over on my channels, and if not, next week here, where we will be talking about I don't know what. We haven't got that far. We have ideas, we just haven't plotted them out. We want to we have thoughts.
But
it'll be a great episode no matter what it is.
Season, so it's all good.
Exactly. So until next week, thank you guys again, and Tony, take us away.